Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Pod-Catz. I'm Tate, and I'm here with...
Hi, I'm Jose, and I'm here with...
Hey, I'm Rico, and I'm here with...
Oh no, you've already messed up the cycle.
Dang it! Hi, everyone, we're back, and we're here with someone new today. We're here with Rico.
Hello, I'm Rico, and I'm here with...
That's the only thing he knows how to say.
All right.
He's like a Pokemon.
Dang
He
it.
has like one phrase.
Oh, wait, is that...
Pokemons? Yeah, that's the intro. We're
Yeah.
keeping all this
Yeah,
in, Rico.
we're doing this real time. We're teaching
Cool.
Rico the intro as we do the intro.
Yeah.
But hey, guys, we're back. If you notice, we are here with someone new today, which is Rico. No Jonathan. Do we want to just throw the cat out of the bag?
Yeah. So, we love you. We miss you. I hope you're watching this from where you're at in Rockstar Studios or whatever. I don't know. So Jonathan, his music career picked up, and so we're just like, oh, okay, cool. You need to go chase your dreams, buddy. And so we're very happy for him to chase his dream, but we're very sad that and we're gonna miss him.
We were the roadies, and he was the rock star.
Oh, your mic is falling.
Oh,
It happens with age.
Yeah. They make pills for that, Rico. So lift it up. Yeah, loosen it first, Rico. Yeah, and then retighten it afterwards, and then tighten the crap out of it. There we go.
there we go.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
just
yeah.
stopped falling now.
Jonathan is gone, so now it's the era of Rico.
Yeah.
For today, at
I guess
least.
Jonathan was just that short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We stand our short kings.
Yeah, well, he's taller than us.
Gonna
since
hate
he's
this
on
episode.
stage.
He's gonna hate this episode.
We love you, Jonathan. We promise.
Yeah,
Rest
we
in
don't
peace,
think
Jonathan.
you're short,
No.
dude. Stop.
6 feet under, more like 4 feet under. Because he's so short. Get it? Actually, that would make me... Don't worry about it. Okay, so what we are doing today is we are going to be talking about our thoughts and ideas for the next 3 sets of Magic the Gathering.
Hype.
Yeah, the hype. Exactly. So the first set coming out on August 1st is going to be Edge of Eternities, which is a cool space-themed one. The one after that is going to be Spiderman, and then after that is Avatar: The Last Airbender. So if you people viewing can see, Rico and Jose have notebook paper with a lot of notes. I have a phone. So they are prepared. So I think we should just go ahead and dive straight into it.
Well,
Oh, no, go right ahead.
tradition dictates you ask us how a games are playing, right?
Yes. Sorry. You're right. I'm so sorry.
You're just
I
so
broke
excited.
tradition. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and ask you, Jose. What have you been playing this week?
This week, I've been playing a crap ton of Monster Hunter Wilds. Our laptop, because you have the same laptop.
do.
It can run Wilds.
That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah. So I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm a longtime Monster Hunter fan. I've been playing since the PSP era on Monster Hunter Freedom, which is the first Monster Hunter that they ported over to a portable device.
So back when Monster Hunter sucked.
Back when Monster Hunter really sucked. It was really fun, but it really sucked. Like drop rates on all the items were really low. Like it would take so long to hunt. I had no friends who played Monster Hunter, so I had no friends who played Monster Hunter. I couldn't play any of the high rank stuff because I was stuck in low rank. I was also 12 and really stupid, so I just didn't understand how the game worked at all. But I had a lot of fun with it, and it's been my childhood. This is what Final Fantasy is to Mike. Monster Hunter is to me. And I'm such a boomer Monster Hunter. Like I just know every in and out of every monster. I have skipped a couple of games just because I didn't own the consoles back when they released. Like I haven't played Monster Hunter 3. I haven't played much of Frontier, but that was only because it was a Japanese only release.
Okay.
It was the Monster Hunter MMO for the PC. It was the
Gotcha.
first PC port for Monster Hunter. And then I haven't played Monster Hunter World because when that first came out, and that was like the people's Monster Hunter.
That was like, what, 5 years ago? Something like
Something. It was PS4 Xbone era.
Okay.
Right? And so when those new consoles came out, when those consoles were new, I bought the Switch. And yeah, Monster Hunter World didn't come
that?
out
You
on
can
the
play
Switch.
Generations on the Switch, can't you?
Yeah, I played Generations Ultimate on the Switch, which
Okay.
was probably the best Monster. I miss Generations Ultimate because I really want to play it, but there's so many quality of life things that they recently did with Worlds, because Worlds came out after just a little bit after Generations Ultimate.
Okay.
Right? So many good fixes with Worlds. And like it's so much better to play that game because armor sets gave you skills no matter how many armor pieces you were wearing, whereas in Generations Ultimate it was still using the old system where you would get points, and when you accumulate a certain number of points then you would get those skills instead of just having skills activate on each armor piece. And oh man, I just love this game series, man. I've been thinking about it and playing it nonstop like last week to my detriment. Like,
okay.
Staying up way too late playing Monster Hunter, waking up way too early playing Monster Hunter, and then putting off stuff for Monster Hunter.
Hey, I get it. I was watching TikToks this morning to help get extra prepared, so I understand.
Yeah.
But that's cool. So to be completely honest, the only Monster Hunter I have played is Stories.
Yeah.
I played Stories 2, not even the first one. Stories 2 because it was on Switch before the first one.
That's one that I also skipped, but I also just don't like
turn-based RPG with a rock paper scissors system.
Super dead simple. I love its cutesy art style.
Oh, it's great. And if you're like a dinosaur person, it's great because it's just Pokemon dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Which is a ripoff of Fossil Fighters for the original DS, by the way. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that,
Thank
Jose.
you for asking.
Now, Rico.
Yeah.
We're putting you on the spot.
What was the question?
What kind of games have you been playing? Anything.
It's mainly been D&D the past week. Like, I've been joining a lot of games. I've also been DMing a lot. Oh, do I need to move the mic closer?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit? Okay. Cool. Yeah, I've been mainly doing D&D a lot the past week. Like, I think I'm in your Thursday campaign, and then I got my Wednesday campaign, and then there was
Free RPG
Day.
Yeah.
And then there was the Saturday campaign that someone was running.
Gauge,
yeah. And that one was pretty fun.
But you're in Gauges now?
Yeah.
Dang. And then let's not forget, you also ran a one-shot on Free RPG Day.
Yeah.
And that one was a lot. I was in that one. It was fun.
What was the theme for it?
Oh, we had to fight a bunch of Phyrexians as the portal opened up and they stormed us.
I knew the answer. I was just like,
I know.
Yeah.
Thank you for yeah, great.
And then you're welcome for also pointing it out immediately afterwards.
Thank you so much.
There was a lot of Rico and I workshopped it a lot before
Okay.
and after we talked about it. Dude, there was a lot that was like really cool about the fight, and there was a lot that we missed because we just didn't have the time to like cram it in there.
Yeah.
Spellskite was going to be a monster in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what Spellskite does
don't
in
know.
Magic the Gathering? So it's a 2-mana 0/4 that says you could pay a Phyrexian blue mana to redirect any spell to target it.
Oh,
And so if you can imagine what that would do in a D&D game where it's like, oh, cool, instead of casting Fireball where you want, here's a Fireball on Spellskite. And if it just so happens to be next to you.
right. I was picking up a lot of the stuff that you were doing, like with the smaller little goblins and how you were able to sacrifice them and do other stuff. Like that was
Yeah.
cool. I also just blatantly liked having the Sword of Ice and Fire because I was a monk tiefling, so I just already had fire spells.
Yeah.
So it like beefed me up a lot.
Yeah, everything we talked about before and after the campaign, it was super cool. We put in Phyrexian mechanics. We put in, or I say he, man.
Yeah. I did all the work.
You did.
And I destroyed all of your work.
I was there
Yeah.
listening to you and contributing nothing.
I do have to say there was a point in the combat when we were playing that I was like, oh, we are screwed because someone decided to bring out a giant Blightsteel Colossus mini.
Was that someone Rico?
That someone was Rico, yes.
I just saw that I had a Blightsteel Colossus chilling, and I had a Phyrexian one shot, and I thought that putting Blightsteel Colossus down for the party
be
to
funny.
fight would be funny.
Yeah, it was quite interesting, especially since we were all level 6.
You guys
and then,
also missed out on fighting Jin-Jitaxis.
oh yes, that he was there. I
Yeah,
totally forgot.
yeah.
He was kind of overshadowed because the Blightsteel Colossus was right behind him.
Dude, what was Jin-Jitaxis' mechanic?
Oh, it was at the end of whoever's turn it was, they would lose a spell slot.
I'm so
And
glad
then-
we closed that portal.
And then Jin-Kataxius, at the end of his turn, all the Phyrexians that were spellcasters get their spell slots back. Yeah.
Just like a Praetor.
Yeah.
I want to curse. That's scary.
It's super spooky.
I'm so glad that we did not have to do that,
Yeah.
even though my character got knocked down twice.
Yeah, this is about on par for what I expect out of a Rico campaign, where it's
Okay.
like very interesting combat mechanics that like really amp up. Like he juices D&D mechanics to the extreme. It's really fun and it's really hilarious, especially when you're like, oh, I have this really cool, awesome thing. Like you getting a free Sword of Fire and Ice, which is like a flame tongue, but it does fire and ice damage. Like it feels really cool, really broken, really powerful. But then you gotta think like Rico is prepared for you to have that.
Right.
So like, what is he packing?
I will notice that is something I did notice during the combat. I'm like, oh, I have this weapon. It's very useful. If I didn't have it before the combat, I think I would be in more danger than I was. Like, it definitely, it, to a degree, felt like not a crutch, but like a benefit that helped balance the field.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He'll definitely like season to taste with the like combat mechanics and magic items and stuff. He'll just like, here, you can have this, you can have that, and then I feel like it's the Warhammer methodology where like if you just like anytime something new comes out, you just make it busted. It makes it not only fun but like super marketable,
Right.
but also like super fun. And then you just like scale everything in accordance with that. It feels like the best kind of power creep because it's just a power trip. It's a power fantasy.
It's power fantasy.
Our ranger got a really sick grappling hook that we used to impale our barbarian and pull him to safety. Pretty
Yeah.
sick.
That was very interesting seeing. It's just like here's like a weird grappling hook to get your enemies closer, and then he just uses it on his friends.
Yeah.
To, like,
well, the
bring them
barbarian
out.
was taking half damage anyway, so he
Yeah.
was fine.
Get over here.
I already used that joke.
Oh.
Not original.
Oh yeah, you did. You just didn't say it with the inflection.
No, I used it the day of, so.
Oh, the day of. I
Yeah.
thought because you said to get him over here, and
Yeah,
I was
but-
like, oh yeah.
I said it like a normal person that's
Yeah.
not in a hyper fantasy gore fighting game.
Yeah,
It's a Mortal Kombat reference.
in game. They don't say it like that. They say get over here. Right?
Get over here. Hey there, pal. Get over here. Imagine that's what Scorpion was without the mask on.
He's Ned Flanders with Scorpion. Get on diddly over here, pal.
I need the fan art now, please.
Get on it, fan artists. Ned Flanders, Scorpion.
Would that make Homer, what's his name? Sub-Zero?
Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
I think because like which one is the antagonist? Sub-Zero is the bad guy. He's the guy who initiated the whole fight because Scorpion
Are we
is
going off
trying
of
to
the
get
movie or the games?
Scorpion's trying to get revenge for his family getting killed, right?
In the movie.
In the
yeah.
movie?
I don't know the games.
Yeah, so Homer Simpson Sub-Zero for sure.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah. He done diddly killed my kids. Get over here.
That's great. I love it.
It's funny too because in the show he's got like multiple dead wives. Yeah.
The Simpsons
Amazing.
predicted it.
The Simpsons predicted it.
Of course.
Obviously.
Obviously. What have you been playing, Tate?
Okay, so as we know, Final Fantasy set has officially been released by the time we've recorded. If we already know this, I love Clive from Final Fantasy 16. So I am currently playing my second playthrough of hardcore mode of Final Fantasy 16. And
How's that going?
I'm about 40 hours deep. And it's like I think it's like a 80-hour story, something like that.
What makes it? I don't play Final Fantasy. What makes it hardcore?
Basically, you're the opponents, of course, their damage is higher, their health bar is higher, their armor is a lot higher, and then your damage does significantly less, and your so-called like energy slots are limited. So it just you beef up your enemies, and also it's a hack and slash, so it's like
Oh, so it's not turn-based combat?
it's not
in 16?
turn-based combat.
Okay,
no.
okay.
It's like Devil May Cry.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you're also when it comes to swarms of monsters, you have even bigger swarms of
Is
monsters.
16 the one where you're in the car?
No, that's 15.
Okay, never mind then.
That's
I
the one
have
with Noctis.
No clue. Yeah.
Yeah. 15 is more open world, while 16 is a little more linear. but you can still travel the map. Though the story is very much Game of Thrones. It's inspired by like the dark and gritty, like grim dark fantasies.
Okay.
So you have a lot of
Clive the main character?
Clive is the main character. Yes, he is the dominant of Ifrit. In the games, there are people that have magical powers that turn into these gods. They are called dominants. And basically, there's power struggles against different kingdoms, because if you have one of these guys, you basically have a weapon of mass destruction used to take over other kingdoms. So Clive was a part of a kingdom that got murked. His father got killed. His brother was the Phoenix dominant, and he was supposed to be the next leader of their kingdom. He gets murked. Clive gets put into slavery for 5 years, and then becomes an outlaw and trying to overthrow the government and destroy the crystals, which basically runs the kingdom. People worship them, and they are also the reason why the dominants are so important, because that's where they get their powers. So he's going on a outlaw attack to destroy these crystals and regain power in the kingdoms to stop all dominance from being used.
Okay. So because I know the Final Fantasy cards, there's a dominant of Bahamut. He's the bad guy? Did I just miss that
He's
while I was Google
one
searching?
of the dominants. There's 8 in the game. So there's Odin, there's Ifrit, there's the Phoenix, there's the Wind One, there's the Titan. I don't remember all their names, but even Sid, so the character Sid, he's a dominant in the game. And he uses lightning magic. It's really sick. He turns into this giant wizard. But,
Dion.
Yeah, Dion is
he a friend? Is he like that one guy in Berserk where he's like he pretends to be your friend?
not
Spoilers?
quite Berserk. Not quite. No.
Okay.
It's a complicated relationship. You have
It's
to
very
keep in mind that
complicated.
there's a lot of political intrigue and drama in this. Because also because
it's Game of Thrones.
It's very Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, one of the like big villains in this is your own mother.
Okay.
Because she's like trying to gain control of the kingdom through like backhanded work and like having other kings assassinated, and you have like a half brother that she's trying to sculpt into the next ruler. But he's like a child. Game is so the cool thing that this game introduces, it has a live time lore tree, so you can be in the middle of cutscenes, combat. You can click the middle
stuff
pad.
will just happen while you're just playing the
Yeah,
game.
while you're playing the game, like the lore will drop, and you can just click the middle button, and it pops up a full lore tree that shows all the important like things to talk about in this moment, and you can click that, and it gives you a full rundown in real time.
Interesting.
So it's great for me because I kind of get lost in the sauce, if you know what I mean, when it comes to stories. So I'll be like, wait, what's this kingdom they're talking about? Click the middle lore tree. Boom, it's right there. And then it shows me its connections to other characters and so forth.
Interesting.
It kind of streamlines your questions for anything that's going on, because they don't baby you when it comes to the lore. They kind of expect you to know stuff already. So when you try to fill in the gaps, you just click the lore tree and it explains.
Yeah, I hate it when characters just all of it, like, sure, I get it, it's for the benefit of the audience, right? But like in an interactive media, sometimes like it's really awkward when the character is like, oh, this thing that's very basic concept about our world, and then they explain it to you and you're like, hey, I could have intuited that through context clues.
There's a game, Xenoblade Chronicles. The main character, Shulk, I think his name is, the amount of times he says the menorah, he says it over 1 million times, I swear.
But does he explain it every single time?
For like the first 20 hours, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because the menorah is like this ancient weapon of like cybernetic like aliens or something like that like used to rule, and now they're back to kill humans.
It's kind of like, oh man, I'm trying to think what anime recently has done this just a lot that I've watched, but I'm not sure. But there's like, whenever you see a scene in anime where you're just like, yeah, I felt like I knew this based on context clues. You didn't have to say these things. You didn't have to words these to me.
Any episode of Dragon Ball Z or Naruto?
Like, I've said this multiple, like Rico and I, when we eat, we like to have entertainment.
Okay.
We're nobles like that, I guess. You know, like Square Jester, entertain us. And then we pop out the iPad and put on Crunchyroll. But like, I'll like pause the show and be like, they didn't need to explain that. And Rico's like, yeah, you're right. Keep playing the freaking show. Like I was watching that. But yeah, okay. So speaking of Final Fantasy cards and stuff, the next set. So we're talking about
next set.
stuff we want to see, speculating on stuff, and then talking about cards. So if you haven't, segue, just changing the subject entirely, right?
Oh.
The next set that's coming out is Edge of Eternities, and we recently had an article from Wizards of the Coast, which expunged a bunch of information, put it out there, said some stuff, and there's some very interesting things with this new set. So first off, Wheeze in Space.
Wheeze in Space.
Wheeze in Space, right? Let me pull up that article, actually. Edge of Eternities. I almost said Edge of Empire.
Age of
basically-
Empire?
basically
That's going to
the
be
same
Secret
thing.
Lair, right? Age of Empire?
Age of Empire. Oh, dude, if they made it, that was a little bit of my childhood. I played a lot of Age of Empires, too.
I could probably get my father into Magic the Gathering if they did that.
Oh.
My father has played, I think, almost 1,000 hours for Age of Empire 1 and 2.
Ooh.
He had me burn the disc for him so he could play it on his new laptop that he got, which his new laptop is still a laptop from like 2010.
In a sidebar, in a thrift store, I had found the complete edition of Age of Empires 2, like the collector's
Okay.
edition, for like $10. It was really nice. Okay, cool. So I have the article pulled up. So Edge of Eternities details. So first off, it's going to be legal in all formats, including standard.
Cool.
There is the commander deck, the actual set, and then they have the expansion set symbol, and then the special guest. So we have a set within a set in this set. And then one thing to note is that this, and I have this quote written down word for word, this is one of the largest releases of Magic fiction for a single set. There's going to be a lot of lore that's going to be dumped in this set. So Vorthoses, like me, are going to enjoy this a little bit. Hopefully enjoy this a lot. But we're going to at least enjoy it a little bit to get all the like lore. There's a lot of buzz about what kind of like connections have been made in this set, and people are like either like very like divisive to folks who are just like, of course they made this connection, or they're like freaking out because they're like, I didn't know, because like Strixhaven lore is getting wrapped up into this because the Wandering Archaic is a colorless creature that like reaches into the Blind Eternities. Eldrazi are back, and if you're surprised by this, then I'm sorry, but if you're a Vorthos like me, you kind of knew this coming, right? Like we knew that there was going to be Eldrazi. We knew that like Strixhaven was going to be involved in this somehow, right? Or at least like tangentially connected to it because of the Wandering Archaic and stuff like that. And then there's going to be a lot of interesting things with this set, I feel, because some Eldrazi are going to come back, right? Like we knew that they were going to be. They weren't done. Like, because Ugin, he said the line where it's just like, hey, imagine you're a fish in a pond, and the Eldrazi that are attacking your planes are like a person reaching their hand into the pond. If you attack the hand, there's still a person out there.
Now, with that, because I don't know a lot about the lore, there's a card that was one of the main cards they focused on. It was Tesseret? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Isn't he like a minion of Ugin?
No.
He used to work for Nicol Bolas.
Nicol Bolas, sorry. His brother, correct?
Ugin's twin brother. Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm learning the lore.
His evil twin.
His evil twin.
Yeah. I personally don't like that they made them like twin brothers, like twin eggs, and then like Nicol Bolas is the bad, like the evil twin.
He's the bad
It's
egg.
like, oh, okay, cool. That's cute, but like whatever.
Okay.
But I don't know. But yeah, Tesseret used to work for Nicol Bolas.
Okay.
And he would antagonize like Jason stuff. So
Got you.
yeah. But yeah, no. So, some mechanical product differences too. Art cards are moving to collector booster packs.
Yes.
And they're not going to be in play booster packs anymore. We're only going to get tokens now. So, I personally, as a judge and as a, well, not like a formalized Magic judge, but as a tournament organizer, I personally enjoy the fact that they are now unifying that, like, it's tokens or advertisement cards and play boosters, and then the art cards and the collector boosters, because it's really confusing for folks when I'm like, hey, take out the token. It's like in the middle of drafts and stuff like that, because the only card that gets removed from your draft pool is the token card, right? The basic land stays inside. And then I always get the question, what about the art card? And it's like, are you going to play the art card in draft? Are you kidding me?
Can I?
No.
What happens if you draft the art card?
Yeah, what if that's my first pick?
Then you've ruined the draft. Because if that's your first pick, then that means there's an extra card in the draft somewhere. You've skipped that pack. You've essentially said to your person to your left or your right, depending on which pack, like, here's a second pack that you can get a first pick from. And so, yeah.
But what if they wanted the art card?
The art card has no bearing or effect on any mechanical aspects of the game.
So I can't just build an art card deck.
So, like,
But
it's
here's
like an emblem.
It's like an shush you. Cease. No. So with that, the token being more prevalent in the thing makes it so that I hope Wizards just prints more relevant tokens onto cards. Like dual-sided tokens being inside the set, amazing. I love that, because then you have 2 chances of getting relevant tokens for the current draft that's happening. And then, please, hey, Wizards, if you're watching this, if you have a set with dual face cards, put in the dual face card insert for drafts, because you didn't for Final Fantasy. And then make it so that if you print a dual face card in a pack, you are guaranteed the dual face insert token for that pack. Because Rico and I, had to dig through all of our token bulk to find those dual face card inserts, because some people don't play with sleeves.
We also appreciate you. Thank you. We were calling you
Also,
out. Like
print more crabs.
Yeah.
Also print more crafts.
Also frogs, please. I need
Also
more frog
frogs,
tokens.
yeah, frog tokens. But no, yeah, like, come on, you did it for literally every other set. It was so genius that you did it literally for every other set with dual face cards, except for the first couple of sets that you did it with dual face cards, like Magic Origins, but you guys were figuring it out with Innistrad and stuff like that. You weren't there for running tournaments for those,
No, I
but
was not.
in Innistrad and Magic Origins, where they first introduced dual face cards, they didn't guarantee it per pack. It was just randomly inserted in the token slot. But like for a period of time, whenever you got a dual face card, you would guaranteed get the insert so that you can play it. But not in Final Fantasy. Come on.
It's a shame, honestly.
That's a bummer, dude.
Rant over. Okay, cool.
Okay,
Let's talk about Edge of
next
Empires.
one.
Or Edge of Empires.
Edge of Empires.
So, Tate, what's that new commander rule that's coming out?
Oh yeah, the new
Yeah?
commander rule that allows you to have any legendary artifact vehicle or spaceship that has a stat bar can be your commander now.
I think the specific wording is any legendary permanent that has a power and toughness box in the bottom right, because they want to leave it open for in case they make like enchantments that sometimes turn into creatures.
Right.
Or
Like a
if they
battle that turns into creatures.
No, I think it's on the front of the card only.
Okay.
Right? Because like then I could play certain like dual face cards that are just like, why? Because like that would mean that I can make a land my commander in the Final Fantasy set, because there's that town that flips into a thing.
Oh, there is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
That makes sense.
shouldn't be a commander. What are you gonna
Give it
die?
5 years.
Pay 2 mana to play land?
Give it 5 years, you'll have
You're
a
rampant.
chance.
It's rampant.
Arixmathes.
It's
We already did that. It's bad Arixmathes.
It's better Arixmathes.
It's bad Arixmathes.
So hear me out.
It could
Legendary
be.
lands can be your commander, and you make a landfall deck, and you just keep casting your legendary land.
Yeah, so what we need to do is make the Arbor Elf or Arbor Dryad a legendary creature.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, legendary lands. Boseju's my commander. That's a bad one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
You can't channel
You
it.
can't discard it.
Dark Depths is my commander.
Okay.
Gaia's Cradle is my commander. And since it has green in its color identity, I could still play mono green stuff. I don't think lands being your commander is good at all, especially since especially since you got to be tier 4 to like do a lot of consistent land removal. And they're not going to print a bunch of good land removal cards, because if they do, the game becomes bad. Because then people will just use it to.
Can I have my land destruction set, please?
Oh my
Thank
god,
you.
a Caracas as your commander?
Caracas is banned in Commander.
But even then, it would be even more banned if lands could be your commander.
Okay, so I hate this, but Urborg and Yavimaya to be able to put in the command zone, it feels like it should be a good idea, but it's not because they don't have any color identity. So you're playing a colorless forest deck or you're playing a colorless swamp deck. And you can't play black cards and you can't play green cards. Because otherwise they have to change the rule for Yavimaya.
Okay, I
and
get
Urborg.
it. I was wrong. It was a joke, I promise.
Oh, no, I just think it's an interesting design space. I just think it's hilarious. Like, what good legendary lands are there to be your commander? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. There's no good ones. It's all bad.
Okay.
If we can make it good,
Wizards,
that'd
make
be
it good.
hilarious. Yeah, I want to play legendary lands as my commander so that Guy's Cradle can get banned in Commander. Anywho, but yeah, so legendary vehicles and then maybe in the potentially future, permanents that have a power and toughness value that are also legendary can be your commander.
Heck yeah.
Gideon commander when? Never, because he's dead in the lore.
Do they not bring
Unless-
people back?
Unless we go back in time.
Gideon
Like in Brothers War.
Gideon super died.
Super died?
Do you know how Gideon died?
I don't know how Gideon died.
Oh gosh. So, prefacing. So Liliana signed a contract with 4 different demons, and
That's one does.
as one does, for immortality and like superpowers and stuff like that. But she doesn't like the fact that these demons have control and sway over her, and so she's going around the multiverse and just killing them one at a time, right? Because if they're all dead, they don't have any control over her. And so she thinks she's doing a world of service, but she's also doing herself a service, right? Because, you know, her demons, her personal demons, but they're also affecting a lot of other folks. These are folks like Grizzlebrand,
Okay.
Beelzenock, and Kothaped, right? Like these are some really crazy demons. Turns out Nicol Bolas started the contract for her. She was like, hey, I need to get into contact with 4 powerful demons. And Nicol Bolas is like, I know a guy. But he also like put into the contract secretly, if you kill all the demons, I'm the guy now, since I helped you out. And Liliana knows she can't kill Nicol Bolas by herself. And so it kind of sucks because when she killed the last demon, Nicol Bolas was like, that's great. Now I have you. And she was like, what? And he's like, yeah. And so in War of the Spark, she was helping Nicol Bolas because she was forced to. Because the God Eternals were zombies, and he needed a powerful necromancer to control the zombies on the scale that he needed, which was a planar war. And she
Right.
could do that through Nicol Bolas, right? And so she was being used as a tool to control these zombies and stuff. She didn't like that because she had spent basically her whole immortal afterlife, the last bit of it, killing all these demons to get out of control.
Right.
Right? She wanted to be in charge of her own life. And so at the very last minute, she was just like, well, okay, all these planeswalkers that are my friends are going to be trying to kill Nicol Bolas or get rid of him or beat him somehow. I need to help. And the only way I know how to help is by controlling all the zombies and making them attack Nicol Bolas. But Nicol Bolas is like, cool, yeah, that's great that you can do that. I'm just going to murk you, right? Like the contract allows me to like snap my fingers and then you just die. And then Gideon went, you're too pivotal in this moment to like die this way, and so I'm going to use my powers to save your life. The trade-off for this is Gideon has to remove, because Gideon has not immortality, but like imperviousness.
Okay.
Because he's the son of Heliod or something like that.
He has plot armor.
Right? He has plot armor, essentially. And so he gave that to Liliana and took the death on himself.
Okay.
And so that's why Gideon has a statue in the art of Rest in Peace for Spellbook Gideon. Yeah, because he's like super dead.
He's extra dead.
Yeah.
This is an advanced darkness.
And that's why Liliana's like, oh, maybe I should be a better person in memory, in like memorandum of Gideon. And that's why she retired and became a teacher on Strixhaven.
I used to be a powerful necromancer. Now I bend the will of children's minds.
She didn't used to be. She still is. Kids are scared because she's like, oh, okay, cool. You're not going to listen to me? Hey, look at the student who didn't listen to me. He's still here. No, that's a lie.
That's funny.
But I could see Liliana doing that. Like a student who died a horrific death or something like that. That's just like, well, I had to explain to his parents and it's just a perfectly good body laying there. I couldn't let it go to waste. And so I just keep him in the closet. Anytime a student acts up, I'm like, okay, cool. Let's bring out Timmy. Oh, hey, Timmy, what did you do to... Oh, you didn't listen in class? Oh, okay, cool. That's why you're a zombie now? Nod your head yes, because you can't talk. You're a zombie. Yeah, hey.
It's got to be horrible being in Liliana's class because there's going to be one kid that's going to be like, why are we going to learn this? Did someone die?
Oh gosh, they don't have a class hamster. They have a class zombie.
No. That's what the pests are for. They're little pets.
Okay, yeah. Wow,
What
so
were
we
we-
were talking about Edge of Eternity.
Yeah. Edge of Eternities. We were talking about legendary vehicles. So I have pulled up all the legendary vehicles.
Okay.
And so we can look at which ones are good. So, first off, most of the legendary vehicles are colorless.
Yeah.
That makes it pretty hard for deck construction because you can't play colored spells.
Well, don't a lot of vehicles like more care more about artifacts? Isn't there quite a bit?
Sometimes they do, but the whole thing about vehicles is that they were supposed to be like supporting cards for the set. I think the other issue that I have with vehicles being your commander is that you still got to play creatures to crew the vehicles.
That is true. Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah. So like you got to play that fine balance. Anywho, so we have. I'm gonna skip all the bad ones
Okay.
because that's a random uncommon. That's pretty bad. And then I'm also gonna skip through all the Transformers that are vehicles on the other side.
That's a
Because
valid one.
they're not vehicles on the front or any battles that turn into vehicles on the back that are legendary. Bessie, the Doctor's Roadster.
This one's funny.
2 mana 3/4 with haste. Whenever it attacks, another target legendary creature can't be blocked this turn. Pretty bad, but a 2 mana 3/4 with haste, it's okay for commander.
It's also colorless, so why would we want to?
All right. The first actually decent one. Grond the Gatebreaker. 4 mana 5/5 with trample. As long as it's your turn and you control an army, Grond the Gatebreaker is an artifact creature. And it's black color identity. So you can play Orcish Bowmasters, and Orcish Bowmasters can either crew it, or anytime your opponent draws a card, and then you ping them for one to make an Orc army, you just have a 4 mana 5/5 in the command zone. Pretty D's. All right, next good one.
Good to have like a big beater in the command zone.
So each creature that created this turn. If this had colors, Golden Argosy. It's a funny name. Golden Argosy. Whenever it attacks, exile each creature that created this turn, return them to the battlefield tapped under their owner's control at the beginning of the next unstep. End step, and it accrues for 1. It's a 4 mana 3/6.
So get some like enter ability stuff.
Yeah, but it's colorless ETB stuff. So like,
More fun jank colorless commander.
Yeah.
I think when it comes down to this, we are going to care more about the new vehicles coming out over the old vehicles.
Well, okay. So the reason I bring these up is because this podcast episode is presumably going to come out before Edge of Eternities.
Yes.
Which means that this is free, unsolicited advice to all the people out there.
Yeah.
Buy these cards now. Because in 2 weeks or so, when people realize, oh crap, all these legendary like things are commanders now, they're going to be gone. We're going to be out of Essica's Chariot, which is the next card. Essica's Chariot is probably going to be a decent commander. 4 mana 4/4. When it enters, create 2 cats. And whenever 2/2 cats, whenever it attacks, you create a copy of target creature you control. Or target token you control. So you just make endless cats. It comes in, it can crew itself because it comes in with 2/2 cats. And then you can create copies. Green has a lot of good tokens that it generates. So Essica's Chariot's great. The Jackdaw, whenever you deal combat damage to a player, discard your hand. If you do, draw a card for each artifact you control. It's in blue-red. 3 mana 4/4, crew 3. Great commander. Parhelion 2, Electric Boogaloo. It's just a big thing with a lot of keywords and makes angels whenever it attacks.
Ooh.
Sky Sovereign. It's a big guy. Shorakai could be your commander now. He can always be your commander.
Yeah, that means Shorakai isn't special anymore.
Shorakai can
Okay,
be
but
my
what about
commander.
the Titanic?
Hilarious card. Fireball or the Fireball. What's what's the guy? The lightning ball?
Lightning ball.
Lightning bolt.
Lightning ball. Ball lightning. Ball lightning. Yeah.
We got
Ball
there.
lightning in the command zone. Hilarious. But it also lets you get treasure tokens
When you sacrifice it.
when you sacrifice it. Dude, this guy with double strike does nothing. Actually, double strike is so bad for this commander because you sacrifice it when the first strike damage goes through. And so you never get that second strike.
Oh gosh.
So if you're playing double strike in the RMS Titanic commander deck, you're doing it wrong. I'm so sorry. The belligerent, holy cow.
That's the blimp.
No, it's the 4-mana 5/5. Whenever, and it's blue-black or blue-red. Whenever it attacks, create a treasure token. Until the end of turn, you may look at the top card of your library at any time, and you may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. It's like, what is it called? It's kind of like Ragavan
Yeah.
meets the microchip. You know the jellyfish. You know what I'm talking about from Kamigawa? The reality chip. That's what it's called.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Falcon airship restored from Final Fantasy. That one's a pretty decent one.
Deals combat damage to a player. You may sacrifice it. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Mono black, reanimator, recursion,
Okay.
and you don't have to put it back into command zone because it has a 5-mana ability to bring it back from your graveyard to the battlefield tap, which it already costs 3 mana. So if you put it back in the command zone, you're already casting it for 5 anyway. So after the first cast, you just leave it in the trash can.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Indomitable, whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. You don't even need to crew this one. This one's a
Yeah.
great one because it's just coastal piracy in the command zone.
You may cast Indomitable from your graveyard as long as you control 3 or more tapped pirates and/or vehicles as well.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, so if you wanted to avoid commander
Mono blue
tax,
pirates. Or mono blue vehicles, I guess. The last ride?
I don't think this one's good because we talked about this the other day.
Well, so I think it's good just because you can have pay 3 mana, pay 2 life, and draw a card in the command zone.
Okay.
Right? It feels like you secretly want Crick to be your commander, but you want more draw power than Crick normally has. Crick, son of Yawgmoth, for those of you guys who don't know.
What about the lunar whale though? You don't know about the lunar whale?
It's
Whale on him.
whale on him. It's it feels like the lunar whale is just a bad version of the whatever the blue red one I said, the jackdaw.
The jackdaw.
Yeah. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. It's a 4-mana 3/5 with flying. Cruise for 1. As long as it attacked this turn, you may play the top card of your library. It's all right. I think losing a color makes it bad.
Okay.
Yeah. The Pridwin Steel Flagship. 6-mana 6/6 flying. Whenever another non-token artifact creature enters the battlefield under your control, create a 2/2 white human knight creature token with this creature gets +2/+2 as long as an artifact enters the battlefield under your control this turn. Cruise for 2. So
Yeah.
it crews itself and it makes a bunch of tokens. It's mono white, but like mono white has a bunch of artifacts already because there's a lot of Voltron commanders in mono white.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like that one I feel like is going to be really powerful.
Yeah, that one's gonna be crazy.
Gwen is excited about the Weatherlight and the Weatherlight Completed just because funny boat.
Funny boat.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to be
Funny boat.
great, but I think they're going to be decent, good enough. And that is basically all the good commanders that you can play right now. If you wanted to rule 0 the rule of, hey, here's your vehicles and all that stuff, and I milked all of those. That's content for you, baby. You can just clip every single one of those cards
Done.
and make
Already
18
done.
million
Already
TikToks,
done. I've done it.
YouTube shorts.
I did it.
Sorry, content pills, content brain. But yeah, so unsolicited, free advice. Buy them now. And you can shop for these cards at phatcatsgaming.com and have them delivered to you right to your door. Phatcatsgaming.com. PHATCATZ gaming.com.
Let me do some editing magic and put it right
Yeah.
there.
Or you
for
can
the
shop
third
with us
time.
on TCG Player.
Just in
Our
case you
TCG
confuse
Player
it.
shop name is Phat Cats B2T, but shop with us on our website because it's a little better. But yeah, sorry. Vehicles, crazy.
Yeah.
Can be your commander now. And then spaceships in the future.
I'm very excited once we get to know every single card that is coming out of this set because I'm a big Star Wars fan, as you can tell from the tattoos, and I want to build an entire just spaceship deck. I want to build like fleets. I want to do it. Sounds like fun. There's a space station card that's coming out with this set as well. And
Have we seen that card?
yeah, we have seen the space station card. I'll have to pull it up.
Is it? It's not this guy, right?
No,
Is it on this page?
it might be. I don't know.
That ain't it. No, I don't think it's on this page. Yeah,
Let me
pull
find
the stuff up. man.
Okay.
But yeah, Rico, opinions on spaceships?
I just want to see what the mono red one, the mono red spaceship is. That way I can sacrifice red shirts for my enterprise.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Rico's playing 4D checkers and we're playing 2D chess.
Yeah.
We're thematically appropriate decks. Oh my gosh, with this set coming out too, I don't know if anybody reads the descriptions of our event link events, which, oh crap, I forgot. I gotta populate some of the Edge of Eternity's commander events and stuff. But I've been putting little quotes in there that are really fun, like set phasers to fun. Or set a course to Edge of Eternity's pre-release, right? Join us. So I need to make references to Star Trek wherever possible. I feel like, this was something that someone had said in the store. Edge of Eternity's having spaceships is a precursor to future Secret Layers, Universes Beyond, or stuff like that. Like a Star Trek crossover set.
Ooh.
Yeah, that one I would be excited for.
Yeah, that one might get my dad into Magic. That's a lie.
Okay.
He would not play Magic the Gathering at all.
So I think I might have just dreamt it up because I'm not seeing it on anywhere. But I could have sworn I saw that there was a card that was a space station.
That doesn't sound too far off, right? Like a space station card could exist.
Yeah.
I feel like
It could have also been leaks from the Vegas.
oh
that's been going
yeah,
on.
yeah. These leaks are so sporadic and crazy.
Yeah.
I wish people could compile them a little better, but it's fine. Our fandom is like really scattered, and they have it'll get to everywhere it needs to get to eventually. But yeah, the crewing mechanic or the station mechanic is pretty interesting. I can't wait to see, because the one example that we have is the Seriemia, the Serima, where it says when you have 7 or more charge counters on it, it becomes a creature. And to put charge counters on it, you got to tap a creature and put its power in charge counters on it. And so there's not a specific crew value, and it retains all those counters. And you can... The charge counters station only has a sorcery. It's an artifact creature at 7-up. So you can continue to crew it afterwards. That's an interesting thing. Like, you can continue to station it with charge counters afterwards. So if you have cards that say this creature gains power and toughness equal to the number of counters on it, or if you move those charge counters off of it and onto other things that care about charge counters, like Lux Cannon, holy cow. I'm free unsolicited advice to all those at home. Buy yourself a power conduit now. Get yourself nesting ground copies now. Shop at phatcatsgaming.com. Anywho, but there's a lot of cards that like care about charge counters or manipulate charge counters. So this feels like it's free real estate for any deck that wants to play charge counters, the deck.
I feel like the Ozlith would also be a really good one.
The Ozlith.
Yeah.
Have we finally broken the Ozlith?
Have we finally...
I thought the Ozlith was already broken.
That's whoosh.
Sorry, it went over my head.
But yeah, this mechanic also harkens back to Level Up as a mechanic.
Okay.
Remember Level Up? So I think there's design space in here for spaceships that get multiple different abilities and become a creature with different stats at different charge level counters. Right? Like, could you imagine just like this little like speedy little rocket ship that like gets faster and has more power as you crew it more and more, and you just load it up? Like it starts off with like it becomes an X1 where X is the number of charge counters, but then like it blows up after it dies or after it attacks. It's like a fireball that you're just charging up with all your creatures. Where you're just like, I'm loading it up, and then at some point it'll get like 40 charge counters, and you just launch it at someone.
Yeah.
Ball lightning in the command zone, but not the Titanic. This ship will never be balling.
The Wii balling lightning.
Yeah.
And then we also have our commanders as well for the precons. There will be 2 precons for this set. It's going to be like a little mini one like Ether Drift.
Yeah. I want to talk about Zariel first,
Okay.
Genesis Shepherd. Thank you, Wizards. Hey, insect legendary creature. We eaten so well. We got an insect druid in 3 different colors. We got red, green, and black. He is a 5-mana 2/5. Amazing stats. I love it when I see stats where the power is less than the toughness. It's crazy. Got flying. You may play lands from your graveyard. Whenever you sacrifice another non-token permanent during your turn, put a number of +1/+1 counters equal to the area's power on up to 1 other target creature. Did someone say play all the fetch lands ever?
Hey, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because you could just, I'm going to sacrifice this fetch land. Oh, look, power and toughness goes on here. And then I'm going to play a fetch land from my graveyard and then sacrifice it again. No, look, I get power and toughness. Are they going to print fetch lands in a precon?
I don't.
What do you think, Rico?
I think they're gonna do the tapped fetch lands.
Okay.
Slow fetches.
Just the slow fetches, but like
There also is a new land type coming out with this set, I believe. They're doing planets or something like that, I heard.
Maybe?
maybe.
I hadn't seen anything about planets yet.
It could just be the special arts, but
I think it's just full art.
just full arts.
Yeah.
But
Gosh. But yeah, no, this guy abuses fetch lands and
And then like you can instantly upgrade it by putting in a wasteland in there.
you're so rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just you know what he's on?
no, I don't.
So Wasteland is or Strip Mine would be better. Strip Mine
yeah.
okay.
is tap, sacrifice, destroy target land.
Oh.
And then you play multiple like cards that say get more land drops, like Azusa.
And
Man, Rico
push back
already
from your graveyard.
You're already playing in green. So
War Crime Central, Rico.
Okay. I'm gonna remember that for when I buy these precons.
And then for those of you guys who bought the Lord Windgrace precon, like you already have 90% of the cards that you want to play for this deck. If you have a Lord Windgrace deck and you want to play something else that is better, this deck allows you to be a little more efficient with like winning games because you're just you're giving a bunch of power and toughness to creatures. And then if you're one of those degenerates like Rico is, you're playing Strip Mine and you're just multiple Strip Mines. Dude, Life from the Loam, like reprint in this deck, I could see it. Oh my God. Zariel, in the immortal words of Jonathan, what are we doing? What are we doing?
what are we doing?
It's swingy.
It's sweet. Dude,
It's
this guy is swingy.
So swingy. He's hot in the face. That's all the Jonathan quotes I remember. He's slowly fading from my memory.
He's Jonathaning. I don't know.
Like he's
Let's talk about the other commander. Kilo Apogee Mind.
this little robot
Red,
guy.
white, blue. 3 mana, 3/3 with haste. Whenever he becomes tapped, proliferate. Wizard. Oh, he's a robot artificer. Legendary artifact creature. He's an artifact.
Mm-hmm.
So he's historic. He's legendary, so he's already historic.
So remember how you were talking earlier about charge counters on the ships?
He makes all the ships.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever he becomes tapped, proliferate, and so you tap him to crew the spacecraft or whatever. This guy was built to be broken.
Yeah, because he's an artifact, correct?
He's an artifact. This is as close to an industry plant that I've ever seen Wizards put on a freaking commander for a new set. If you're not buying this deck to commit war crimes, then you're buying this deck because you think robots are cute and you're doing it wrong, right? He is an artificer, so you got artificer tribal. He's an artifact, and so you automatically have all the stuff that say, hey, untap an artifact at the beginning of every person's upkeep. Unwinding clock. Untap target artifact by tapping 2 artifacts. Clock of Omens, right? This guy is built to be busted. This is what Atraxa wishes she could be. You know how Atraxa decks is like proliferate at the end of your turn? Mm-hmm. Oh, whatever. This is proliferate on demand, buddy. This guy's busted.
Proliferate
What's-
on demand.
What are we doing?
You know what? I would really like to. He won't be out in time for the partner event that we're doing for Pride. I'd like to team him up with Titus personally.
I'd like to team up with Zariel.
Zariel,
he's putting counters on other things.
Yeah.
And he's proliferating other guys. Like, he's proliferating everything.
Can we do partners of 3, please? And do all 3 of them?
We'll figure it out later.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. We could play test it.
Cool.
But dude, yeah, Kilo is he's meant to be broken. I want to break this man's. He's a robot.
He's a robot.
But oh my god.
It's like disassembling a toaster just to like put it back together.
I think I understand why they only put 2 precons in the set, because they're trying to break the precons.
Yeah, they didn't want to dilute the power into 4 different precons.
Yeah.
But could you imagine if they printed 4 busted
Oh my
precons like
gosh.
this? Like
They
these commanders are insane.
I'm excited for these ones.
I
I will be picking them up.
I gotta
so.
clean out my pants.
Dang it. Dang it, Jose. Not again.
Yeah. Dude. Kilo is the kind of commander that like you see me see this commander, you're like, Jose, no. Don't do it.
No, don't do it.
No.
That ain't Falco.
Oh my god. That ain't Falco. Okay. What do you have in your notes for Edge of Eternity? Sorry, I've been yapping a lot. I had a cup of coffee before this.
I think there's gonna be like an obligatory aliens reference in this.
Oh, like a
set.
xenomorph?
Yeah, like a xenomorph.
Ooh, alien tribal? Legendary
tribal.
xenomorph tribal.
Oh, God. Don't tell Gwen.
Oh my god. Like, oh my god. Because, so first off, one of the spoilers has a landfall ability. It was a Kavu that said whenever a land enters the battlefield,
Deal 1 damage to each opponent, and
Yeah.
then when your second land enters, you draw a card.
So black-green, xenomorph-like alien that says landfall, create a 0/1 egg token. And then those tokens have landfall, create a 1/1 alien token. Whenever those creatures die, create a 3/3 xenomorph.
I think you're onto something, bud.
Right? Kind of like a reef worm meets...
Okay.
Are we creating custom magic cards now?
No.
Yeah.
But this does tie into the theme of like how Duskmourn was like an homage to a bunch of horror movies. This is very much an homage to like sci-fi in general as well.
Oh my gosh. What sci-fi movies do you want to see referenced in this?
Well, you said Strixhaven is tied in, so Space Wizards, Star Wars.
Lightsabers.
This freaking
Lightsabers.
guy. This freaking guy. We already got a Star Wars card game. You can't be happy with that.
There's gonna be a Teferi Jedi Master.
Oh my god, Mace Windu Teferi? Dude, imagine if Mace Windu had time powers. Okay, so Mace Windu goes so hard in the Clone Wars animated series. Imagine if he could stop freaking time, dude. Nothing would
So
survive.
oddly enough, in Legends lore, there is a Jedi that knows how to like freeze time and
Because he's
time-
just using the
Also,
Force to like...
time travel is canon in Star Wars now. It's in Rebels and Ahsoka.
Mace Windu with time powers. I want that now. Because Mace Windu goes so hard, man. God.
Wow, that'd be cool. We do get a cool, scrappy looking like engineer. So I would love a small reference to Firefly.
Oh.
Like maybe something's like, wow, we didn't get past the first season. That'd be great.
Yeah, it's a card that like it has like the beginning half of a really good commander, but then like it just cuts off randomly and then like doesn't have a good payoff because it's a Firefly reference.
The space station, if the space station is a real card, I would like it to be in homage to Babylon 5 and the giant Babylon 5 space station. That'd be sick.
Oh god.
Where there's a lot.
We need an evil AI card like Hal.
That's the commander.
That's the commander.
That's the proliferate commander.
No. That's not like what I need is like a stacks control piece. Cause like I can't let you do that.
No, just pure counter.
Yeah.
Pure
I
counterspell.
can't let you do that, Hal.
Amazing.
That's good. Okay, I like that. I like that.
I think another good one would be Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference.
Yeah, buddy.
Just it's an artifact
goofy
card,
little
like
guys.
a gin and tonic.
Oh,
'Cause
the
every
Pan Galactic Gargle
yeah.
Blaster.
Have a hot
So,
soup moment with like
hot soup.
a towel artifact equipment.
Just Simon Pegg.
It
on
gives
the card.
Ward 0 or something.
Ward 0.
Yeah, Ward 0.
Yeah.
You know what?
Optionally.
I would see some like infinity, like unfinity, like inspired stuff that they didn't put in Infinity into Edge of Eternities.
Okay.
Like something like that. Just Ward Zero towel.
Oh my god. What other sci-fi movies are there
Well, there's a lot.
that aren't like just
Well, obviously, there's got to be some sort of Star Trek reference in this.
some Star Trek reference.
Star Trek.
Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes is solid.
I think a big monkey spaceship.
If we want to go like classic sci-fi to help create stuff, maybe like Dune or Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon, John Carter, maybe. If they really want to pull like deep cuts for sci-fi.
Oh?
Is this the set where we're gonna see battles come back?
Space battles?
Space battles?
Space battles? Are you saying there's a war among the stars?
Okay, never mind. I don't want to. Talk. That's hey, you had one. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay,
Yeah, no,
I'll let
that would
myself
be
out.
sick. Battles coming back because like you can't leave the newest, coolest permanent type in March of the Machines. You got to bring it back for this.
You got to bring it back.
Yeah.
All right, well, we do have about 20 minutes left, so
Unless we can just like stay a little
yeah,
after.
we'll see.
Let's see
here.
here. Interesting to note, there's only 5 Shocklands that are going to be printed in the set, and they're not even like a cycle of Shocklands that makes sense. It's not like ally colors or enemy colors, because some of them are ally colors and some of them are enemy colors.
Okay.
But I cracked the code. It's a gate crash. It's all the shocks from gate crash.
Okay.
So those are the color combinations set. So we're gonna go back to Ravnica, and then they're gonna reprint Shocklands again.
Oh, is Avatar: The Last Airbender gonna be set in Ravnica?
Like Clue?
Like Clue?
Like Clue. We're going back to Ravnica.
I think
Anything else?
so. I think you're on something.
Maybe the real Clue.
Ooh. I think we're gonna see a bunch of really weird creature types in this set too.
I think that's a given.
That's a given, but that means that changelings are gonna be those creature types as well.
Ooh. Do you think we'll get more changelings in this set?
Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe.
All right. That's Edge of Eternities. I think we've milked it.
Yeah.
Hey, buy your vehicles now. Break your commanders now.
Yeah.
The next set that's coming out is Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
So, I have written down, first off, if you haven't seen the Wizards website where they talk about the set and they're like, hey, a first look at collecting Spider-Man, right? All the way at the bottom, you scroll past all the like cool stuff, like all the product shots. There are 5 new beginner decks coming out with this set for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And each of them has a character on the front of the beginner deck, and each of them are monocolor decks. So Spidey is white. He's the white. He's Peter Parker's white, but Spider-Man is white color mana.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. He's the hero. He's the hero of the people. White is the color of like community and like all
Right.
that stuff. So that makes a lot of sense. We're gonna skip blue. Venom is black.
Mm-hmm.
But like it just makes sense, right? That sounds right. Okay, so we're gonna get a little weird. Miguel O'Hara is the front face of the blue deck.
Okay. So Spider-Man 2099.
Yeah. He's the most technologically advanced Spider-Man, it
Makes
seems,
sense.
because he's got that like holographic suit. He's got this like big base.
It's
he does
actually a
interdimensional travel.
nanobite suit. They're nanobites.
Whatever, man.
Actually.
More like
actually,
more like a spider bite.
Shut up. I'm joking. I'm so sorry.
I'm leaving.
Gwen is red.
Wait, Spider-Gwen is
Spider-Gwen is red.
Okay.
Makes sense.
She aggro?
Drummer, aggro, like
Yeah.
emotions are a
Yeah.
big core part of her identity, and then like her dealing with her father and stuff like that.
She's got angst.
Miles Morales is green.
Huh. I don't get that one.
I don't understand it either.
It's because he's a spider. He's got reach.
Man, get the heck out of here. Get the door's right there. Get out of here. Why isn't Miles Morales red blue? Because red blue right? Like he does the invisible thing. He does the electric thing. Like invisibility is a blue color identity thing.
True.
Lightning is a red color identity thing.
Right, yeah. That doesn't make any sense.
Why is he green? What is green about himself, his personality? Let's look at like what green is. Right?
Plan, make big.
Make big. He's not a big guy.
No.
In the movies, he's a really little guy.
Well, even in like the comics. So currently in the comics, he kind of is a big guy in the sense of he is now the vessel for the spider god in the comics currently. So he is bigger than life in the sense that he's a god now, kind of.
But
I would say like in the movies, he is like the odd one out.
So they figured we're going to make him the odd one out by making him the
green
the
one.
wrong
green one,
color.
the
Yeah.
wrong color.
Because it might just be because of the
Maybe it could be in the sense of when we're playing mono green, we also beef up characters. In the movies, we see him go from a very amateur Spider-Man that doesn't know what he's doing and grows into his own.
It's about growth, personal growth. Okay,
Yeah.
that's I feel like that's like a weird direction to go, but like that does make sense. Personal growth and green do align. Okay,
cracked the code.
that eases my mind. That cracks the code. Argue about it in the comments. Give us other reasons because I don't know anything about Miles Morales other than what I saw in the movies and that he's Puerto Rican like us. Well, I say us, Rico and I.
Oh, okay.
You can be honorary.
Heck yeah.
honorary Puerto Rican.
Cool.
Yeah. Hey, they made a Puerto Rican Spider-Man. Anywho, other stuff I've written down. Well, what do you have for
What do
Spider-Man?
I have? Let's see. I'm excited to see what Mysterio would look like in the
Ooh, Mysterio.
yeah.
Can
Make-
we get
make
magical
illusion
hats?
tokens.
in-
Magical hats.
Like, you know the magical hats trap card in Yu-Gi-Oh? Where you put a bunch of stuff face down? Mysterio with morph?
Mysterio with morph.
Oh my
gosh.
So I think yeah, Mysterio might have more. I also think he might be able to copy other abilities.
Like an
That's
experiment
pretty cool.
crotch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
make illusion tokens.
What
Illusion
color
tokens?
do you think Mysterio would be? Blue-green?
Blue greens fits. Yeah.
It blue somewhere.
I can see him being mono blue in my opinion.
I could.
yeah, mono blue or blue black.
What would his creature types be? Because that's an interesting thing about the Spider-Man set is that the creature types are all over the place. Like Spider-Man is a human spider hero.
Human illusionist villain.
Yeah. So villain is a
Or-
creature type?
or human
let's see, so-
artificer.
So we do
Artificer.
have a
Yeah.
couple of creatures already. So like the main like creature type. So with Green Goblin and Doc Ock,
Because he's a goblin.
Doc Ock is a human scientist villain, and Green Goblin is a goblin human villain.
Yeah.
Wait,
So-
does that mean you can put Green Goblin in Goblin decks now?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Ooh.
But so I think he might be like a human magician villain, something like that, maybe.
Oh my god.
He,
So with heroes coming out in Spider-Man 2
Yeah.
and heroes being a prominent token type, hero tribal in Final
it's-
Fantasy Spider-Man
it's
crossover.
possible. Oh,
yeah, hero
it's
tribal.
possible now.
Changelings are all heroes and villains now. Hilarious.
we might also see some construct illusions from Mysterio.
Ooh. Maybe he does something with like turning like illusions into like constructs or something like that.
Yeah.
Extra turn spell in Spider-Man. I feel like there's going to be an extra turn spell in Spider-Man. I don't know how or why, but I feel like there's going to be an extra turn spell. Maybe it's like webbing up your opponents and it like is a pseudo turn skip spell. If they can play around it, then they can play around it. But like some like crazy extra turn spell. Maybe Mysterio doesn't.
If we're talking like what we think is going to go in there, I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot of things that might occur. I think one of the biggest things that might be coming out of this set is a lot of copy stuff, because one of the most popular Spider-Man comic book lines is the Clone Saga, where Spider-Man gets cloned and we don't know who the real Spider-Man is for like 5 years. That's when we get introduced to Ben Reilly, and Ben Reilly is a clone of Peter Parker who has to deal with the fact that he doesn't know if he's the real Peter Parker.
Oh man.
And then at the end of it, he finds out, I'm not the real Peter Parker.
I want to rule zero a commander deck where I can play all of the Sinister Six as my commanders, and then just like play really bad cards,
You'll
and then get
probably
beat by
be able to
Spider-Man
do that.
token. That'd be hilarious. Any Spider-Man villains that you want to see as cards?
So if we're talking Sinister Six, Kraven the Hunter, obviously.
Oh, Kraven the Hunter would be a really cool card.
Like Kraven the Hunter would be sick. We already have Doc Ock the Lizard.
I could see Kraven really making and breaking like Radagast and other commanders that care about a bunch of different creature types. I'm talking like Volo, Itinerant Scholar,
Okay, yeah.
and stuff like that. Like Kraven would go in those decks for
Kraven
sure.
would be sick.
What color identity is Kraven though?
Kraven
is he
would
Mardu?
be. He would be green. He'd have to do green something.
Green, black,
Green, black,
red.
I feel like he'd be green, black. Yeah, green, black, red sounds good, or just green, red, in my opinion. I think he'd be Gruul.
I feel like he'd be Mardu a little bit, but I don't know. It just he looks very Mardu coded.
Okay,
right? Like
fair
just
enough,
based
yeah.
on his design.
Yeah.
I don't know too much about Spider-Man.
Fair.
I don't
So
read a bunch
Kraven
of
is one of
comments.
his biggest enemies because Kraven is taken from the sense of I'm a rich man that wants the biggest hunt. He wants the
Yes.
most dangerous hunt. So he's like, my most dangerous hunt is Spider-Man.
Because Spider-Man's hard to hunt.
Exactly. So take that into aspect and see how you will. But like he's also known for being notoriously quick and strong. So that's why I think maybe green with some red in there for some Gruul.
I think
He would obviously have haste.
Yeah, he would have haste. I think he would want to like know what kind of creature types you've killed, and then getting a bonus based on
Right.
that. Because you want to hunt everything.
Mm-hmm.
So my choices, I have two. I want to see Spider Noir
Spider-Man.
because he would be hilarious. Because they're gonna make him Orzhov.
Okay, yeah.
I don't care what else he does, but if he has any other color identity in his stuff, they're doing it wrong. But the one that I want to see is J. Jonah Jameson.
J. Jonah Jameson as a card would be sick.
He is going to be mono red, and he is going to be some sort of busted CDH commander. I know it.
He needs to-
in my heart of hearts.
I don't know why, but I feel like he would goad other people's creatures.
Oh my god, he would be such a really fun, like control-based aggro CDH commander. Like, I want pictures of Spider-Man on my desk.
Hear me out. They reprint Counterspell as give me pictures of Spider-Man. Okay.
J. Jonah Jameson says, all your opponent's creatures are goaded. Also, they have the ability to tap to give you a token copy of him that sacrifices at the next end step. Give me pictures of Spider-Man.
Ooh.
Or go fight each other.
Or
go find them.
Okay.
I think that'd be hilarious. But dude, J. Jonah, and then like they get treasure tokens or something like that, right? Yeah, here's payment for pictures of Spider-Man, whatever.
Right.
But JJJ, I want to see him on a card, man.
I see that
wanna
being
see what they do.
highly possible because it's J. Jonah Jameson. Most of the time, he's more popular than Spider-Man, and like just because he's a meme.
No, because Spider-Man's a menace.
He's gone.
He doesn't have
too.
menace though.
I'm too JJJ pilled. He doesn't even have menace.
Right.
Speaking of mechanics that they don't have, Spidey sense.
Yeah, they don't have Spidey sense.
So stun
Where's-
counters is the main focus. with a
Well,
lot of
yeah, but
this,
like
so.
Spidey sense, are they going to give him vigilance? Is it going to be untapping your creatures? Is it going to regenerate or give hexproof?
I feel like Spidey sense would be a card.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's definitely like an instant. It's going to
Yeah.
be the next heroic intervention that they're going to print.
Yeah.
Right? Like, like we got Legolas's quick reflexes, we got heroic intervention. Spidey sense is going to be a card that like does something like that.
okay.
And so for all those folks who are currently hating standard because they feel like it's dominated a lot by mono red and aggro, I feel like Spider-Man is going to be the set that's going to make mid-range and control decks like really crazy. Because there's going to be a lot of pieces in there that are going to be like, hey, I'm going to give myself protection. I'm going to give myself like temporary removal, like lots of good tempo magic. Oh my God.
Also, another like, since there's so many Spider-Man characters, but Sandman obviously is going to be in here.
Oh,
Sandman.
yeah.
Electro will be in there.
Which Electro? Are they going to make white Electro or black Electro? Because like the Amazing Spider-Man 2, he's a...
Well,
Because
there's more
was,
than
was that Jamie Foxx?
Yeah, it was Jamie Foxx.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
currently in the comics, the Electro is actually his daughter.
What?
Yeah, Electro's daughter is the
I don't
Electro in the
understand
comics right now.
He just passes on because his daughter presumably wasn't born before or like after he became Electro. It was before, right?
So it's comic books, it's very convoluted. Like it's a different timeline, that kind of stuff. But like, basically, her father gets killed, and she takes up the mantle of Electro.
Oh.
And she's kind of like this sympathetic villain to a degree, and then like she's kind of like has switched sides a little bit, like she's been a hero a little bit, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that would occur. I can see her potentially being the Electro in this set, because they are obviously diving into the Spider-Verse aspect of this, because we're getting Spider-Gwen, Miles Morales Spider-Man.
We got Miguel.
Got Miguel.
Peter Porker?
Peter Porker, I don't know. Scarlet Spider, I hope. Scarlet Spider's my favorite. There's also, there's a Spider-Man of Houston in the comics. I forgot his name.
Does he have a cowboy hat?
No, he wears all red and he's kind of a serial killer.
Oh, never mind.
Well, he used to be a serial killer.
Yeah.
He's another one of the clones.
Are we going to get the Spider Mark? Remember, it was like when Doc Ock took over Spider-Man's body or something, he would like rip people's faces off with his Spidey.
Oh, so that
Could you
was
imagine?
that was
Do you know about this, Rico?
No.
So which
that's a superior Spider-Man.
yeah, he would mark his villains by using his spider grip on his hand and then like rip skin off people's faces.
That's from a really dark comic book line where Doc Ock is on his deathbed and he switches his conscience with Spider-Man, and basically Peter Parker dies as Doc Ock, and Doc Ock is now the Spider-Man, and he kind of becomes this very brutal sense of a hero.
Yeah. And this is where we start realizing that Spider-Man is way more powerful than he is, because like Doc Ock punches a dude and like nearly kills him, and he's like, "Oh crap. Peter has been pulling all his punches.
Yeah.
Every single time he's fought me, cuz like he took his jaw clean off on accident."
That was
Funny.
that was a very dark time in comics. I didn't really like the Superior Spider-Man comics.
Yeah, but new Spider-Man kill spell where like, you know, we got removal in Magic the Gathering. New Spider-Man removal where it's like, "Hey, got your nose?"
Speaking of removal,
Oh.
what if there was a reprint of Tragic Slip with Uncle Ben?
No. Or
I think you got it. Yeah, you go
where
ahead,
they're
go
trying
ahead.
to catch MJ.
Oh yeah, with
No,
the
it's Gwen Stacy. It's
Gwen Stacy, sorry.
Gwen Stacy.
Yeah. And the Amazing Spider-Man,
Yeah,
Tragic Slip.
Tragic Slip.
that happened back in the 70s originally, 70s or 80s, and it was like the biggest comic book. So biggest comic book to come out around that time, and oddly enough, the country of Mexico did not like the ending, so they got the rights to officially continue Spider-Man where Gwen Stacy lived.
Oh.
So there is a comic book line that takes place after that where Gwen Stacy's alive and she marries Peter. It's in Mexico.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Buddy, I think now is the time that we're gonna bust out our newest prop. You want to start heating up some more water and stuff while I do my hottest take. So, I have a really weird, or I have like a really like heightened expectations for Wizards of the Coast when it comes to like coming up with mechanics and stuff. And so, one of the things that I kind of want to, that I expect that Wizards will do is like weird stuff. So here's my hot weird take for the Spider-Man set, and that is, what if they printed a set where they didn't have any unique mechanics? Right? So like no new keywords in this set. Like Final Fantasy had job select and Final Fantasy had tiered spells, but what if, because like that's really the only two mechanics in Final Fantasy that were like new. What if they set the tone for Universes Beyond and Spider-Man had no set mechanics in it? It was just all regular mechanics that we know and love from regular stuff, which is immediately shattered by the fact that the next set that's coming out after Spider-Man had one single spoiler card in it, and that was Avatar Aang. I'm joking. Avatar Aang. And it had 4 different keywords mentioned in it, and they were all the bending keywords.
Fire bending, earth bending, air bending, water bending.
So yeah, I don't think I'm right with that, but I would like to be right with that, because that would be a really fun set to introduce people into, because like everybody knows Spider-Man. Not like they put the Spider-Man in the Magic the Gatherings. I want to play that. So okay,
And that's why he's welcome decks.
that's why he's in welcome decks, right? Like imagine we didn't have like complicated keyword mechanics in Spider-Man. The pre-release would go so much faster because I wouldn't have to go over all the set mechanics. I'd just be like, hey, these are all evergreen mechanics. Reading the card certainly explains the card. We've already talked about Avatar being the next set. What did you bring for us today?
So, as we know in Avatar, there is a wonderful character named Uncle Iroh, and he loves dirty leaf water, also known as tea. So I have brought my small collection of tea for us to have a cup of tea and talk about Avatar.
There's some
So, go ahead, Jose. Start us off.
So, a little bird has told me that there's going to be no Legend of Korra cards in this set,
That makes sense because it's entirely separate property.
right? I confirm with me in the comments below, but no Legend of Korra cards. So we're going to just nix all Legend of Korra cards. I would have liked to have seen some Legend of Korra stuff. Some of my favorite villains. Oh, man, we're out of water. I took all of it.
It's okay. I had a monster. So I'm
We also have another water. We can.
No, I'm gonna shoot this.
You're just going to have a little bit of
That's
tea.
more than enough for me right now, anyways. I shouldn't be having this.
But yeah, so I would have liked to have seen some bad guys from Legend of Korra because I really liked the villains in Korra.
Korra, in my opinion, has one of the best villains in the sense that each villain is just excluded from everyone else because there's one season villains for each season.
That was a byproduct of how it was produced. If you guys don't know, they were only slated for one season. And then they were like, "Oh, this is good. So you're gonna make another season." They're like, "This is our last season, right? So we don't have to like set up something and then have a payoff for the next season if there's gonna be a next season." They're like, "No. It's gonna be the last season of Korra. Don't worry about it." And then they did that 4 times in a row, essentially.
Korra was treated awful through Nickelodeon to the point that the final season wasn't even on the stream on Nickelodeon. It was online on their website.
Yeah, you had to watch it on the Nickelodeon website.
Yeah.
They didn't air it on TV. But Amon, genuinely horrifying villain to look at. Like, he was super scary. And I knew in my heart of hearts, I'm like, dude, this guy's like a waterbender or something.
Yeah. That's also another
Spoilers.
thing about the villains in Korra too. They really kept to the theme of doing adult stories that children could watch. Like, these are self-actualized villains that the crimes that they are committing are like, it's real. It's not like, oh, I'm the bad guy because I just want to take over the world and be the supreme leader. No, they were oppressed and they
have a reason for doing the things that they
it.
do. Which is why I'm going to admit this live to everybody. I'm a Kuvira simp. I love Kuvira. Yeah, dude.
I'm not surprised by that, Jose.
She's so cool. She is so cool. God, I love a woman that could just beat me up.
That's every single woman in Avatar ever.
I mean, sure, yeah, but like Kuvira though. Anywho, we're gonna skip past that because we're not talking about Legend of Korra. We're talking about Avatar: Last Airbender.
Last Airbender. So yeah.
Okay. So, because it's Magic the Gathering, Avatar: The Last Airbender has 4 elements, and Magic the Gathering has 5 colors. Some of these are obvious, right?
Yes.
What color is waterbending?
Waterbending, obviously going to be blue.
What color is firebending?
Firebending's red.
Okay, this one's a little tougher, but not so tough. What color is earthbending?
Green.
That feels very obvious.
Right.
What color is airbending?
So, if I have to talk about, when I originally had this idea, I was thinking black because airbending is tied to the spirit realm. But what I learned from this card is they are just making airbending white, and then the spirit realm is going to be its own color through black.
That feels like the very safe corporate choice. That feels like, okay, I know Wizards is going to do this, right? This just makes sense. Well, airbending is going to be white, spirit magic is going to be black. But what if spirit magic is black-white and airbending was colorless? Because the monks, like all the most powerful airbending techniques, come from the idea of being spiritually neutral, right?
Yeah. The main reason I say that is because, so for this Avatar Aang that we got, before he's flipped, he is red, green, white, blue. He has flying, firebending, and whenever you waterbend, earthbend, firebend, or airbend, draw a card. Then once you've done all 4 of this, transform him. Once you transform him, he turns into Aang, Master of Elements. This is his spirit. This is his spirit bending side where he's connected to the spirit world. And if you notice, it has all 5 colors on the back, including black. So that's why I think black is the spirit bending of of the card set due to the fact that now we have all 5 colors when he's flipped
You
into
are
this.
absolutely correct. The only issue that I have with that is like they could have been really cool and they could have made him like colorless, and then on the back he gains the black-white color identity. Does that make sense?
That's true. I think part of the reason why they didn't do that is because they're obviously trying to get new players in, and if they add that type of thing to a set for people that are new.
Because a lot of people are going to be like, why is it colorless? And they're not going to know the whole color pie theory and stuff like that. This is me being a pedantic nerd, essentially. Speaking of black being in the color pie of Magic, Swamp Benders.
Swamp Benders. That's technically Avatar, not Korra. That means we won't get Lava Benders, though.
Who cares?
I might get Lava Benders.
Bolin is one of the best characters.
Lava Benders can be Gruul.
They could be Gruul, but they weren't introduced until Korra.
Dang, that's true. Right. Okay.
Because of this Avatar Aang card, there's a lot of people like talking about what is Firebending going to do? Because it says Firebending 2, but it doesn't have any reminder text. So what do you think Firebending 2 is?
I think Firebending 2 is like I think it's going to be casting a red spell that has a mana value of 2, depending on what it is. I think it's casting a mana spell, and then once you firebend by casting a red mana spell equal to the firebending cost, you ping for that much damage to an opponent.
Oh, so it's looking for a spell that costs 2, and then it pings them for 2.
Yes.
Interesting take. Rico, what do you think Firebending 2 means?
It could be a couple of things. One thing that I think it might be is like it could be like a gutter snipe effect, where if you cast like an instant or sorcery, it deals 2 damage to that opponent.
Yeah, it firebends 2.
Or it could be like a weird new like afflict, where if you attack, it doesn't matter if you attack if you block the creature or not, it just deals 2 damage to that creature.
That seems very doable.
I like that.
Or even, what if it was backwards afflict, where it says if this creature's unblocked, it does 2 extra damage.
Oh yeah. It could be like that, backwards afflict.
But I have some crazy thoughts.
Okay.
I would like, I think Firebending 2 would be when this creature enters the battlefield, you either choose to do 2 damage to your opponent, or the creature gets 2 +1/+0 counters.
2 + 1. Okay.
So it gets 2 power permanently.
Interesting. Okay.
And so you either get sustained fire over time because you're attacking with your firebenders over and over again, or you do damage now and then get it later.
Okay.
Right? But that's because I'm a mad scientist and I'm crazy. I think y'all's choices are a lot more sound, and yours especially feels a lot more like plausible in terms of like what firebending is. I don't know if you guys have seen the card, but I've noticed that the keywords that they're using are all lowercase. Typically, keywords are all uppercase.
Okay.
And so my crackpot conspiracy theory idea is, like, this is me pointing at, like, who's Pepe Sylvia, right?
Ravnica confirmed?
Ravnica confirmed. First off, it is that these keywords aren't going to be keywords in the traditional sense.
Okay.
Right? My idea is, my crazy conspiracy theory idea is that because, so whenever they print a new mechanic in a set and they print a commander that's based around that mechanic, one of the problems that people have with that is that they don't print enough cards with that mechanic. So, for example, in Dragonstorm, if there was a card that said, every time you mobilize, do something else, that would suck because there's not a lot of good mobilize cards. Right? And so there's a similar issue here with Avatar where the only time you're going to see firebenders, waterbenders, or airbenders, or earthbenders are going to be in any Avatar crossover sets. And if they save Legend of Korra for a later printing down the road, well then that means there's only 2 sets where there's going to be these cards that Aang cares about. So my proposal is that firebending, airbending, earthbending, and waterbending are all going to be statuses that you can attain that you can keep track of that doesn't necessarily tie directly to only Avatar: The Last Airbender, right? And this is insane. I'm making it sound plausible because these are the hoops that you have to freaking jump through to make it plausible. So this will be like the city's blessing, where if you have a certain number of permanents, you are now under the city's blessing, right? So I'm gonna say like firebending is like, oh hey, if you have dealt 2 non-combat damage, congratulations, you have obtained the status of firebending, and then so it might do something or something like that, right? Or it counts as firebending so that you can play cards that aren't Avatar: The Last Airbender cards, but doing the thing. This is totally not going to happen.
So do you think there'll be cards that say like artifacts, like say Aang's quarterstaff, where it's like this creature gains airbending? When
No.
Nope.
I'm saying, like for example, firebending would be you have done firebending if you had done 2 damage.
Okay,
or something,
I follow now. Yeah.
right? And so that's a little tough because firebending, it has a number after it on the Avatar card or the Aang card, and so it's like, okay, cool. We know that this is going to be a mechanic like this, but like if waterbending is like if you have tapped an opponent's creature, then you have water bent.
Right.
And then so that will trigger Aang and you could draw a card.
I got you.
Right?
Okay.
It's a very complicated way to do things, but that's why it's my conspiracy theory idea. So now that we've talked about firebending, what do you guys think the other mechanics are? Because what is earthbending?
So earthbending, make meteors and fling them. I don't know.
Rico and I were like, it untaps a land or something.
Okay,
Earthbending X
That's
untaps
fair.
lands whenever that creature attacks or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe taps opponent's lands when they attack.
Okay, I can see that. That makes sense. My instant thought was like maybe it's just landfall, but
Yeah.
like a type of landfall
They
trigger
just-
of some sort.
I don't think they're going to rename landfall to earthbending
Right.
though. Because
Or-
they would never do that for any other mechanic.
Even crazier, it's you can sacrifice lands to put +1/+1 counters on the creature.
Oh, that's another thing that we haven't. So sometimes they take a mechanic that exists and then turn it into a
Right.
keyword. So, like for example, there is a card called. Oh, I forget what it's called, but it essentially says like, look at it's 2 mana sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, rearrange them in any order you like, or put them in the graveyard. What mechanic does that sound like?
Surveil?
Now the card just says Surveil 5 in the errata text.
Right.
Strategic planning or something like that is the name of the card. And so there might be mechanics that already exist out there that just obtain the firebending or airbending or waterbending or earthbending status because they consolidate those into keywords.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think that's possible, but like, and I don't have any specific examples that'd be like, this is firebending. But
It could be fire breathing from dragons.
that
where
would be so stupid.
You pay a red and it gets +2/+0.
Oh my God, but I could see it. Oh my God, but I could see it.
I think you're on. Dang, okay.
So you've consolidated the mechanic into that thing.
Yeah.
So earthbending probably has to do with lands. Waterbending.
Now, waterbending, I'm kind of mixed on. Like, obviously, we could go into like the scry aspect, but in the show, waterbending is used for healing as well. And I can see it towards like maybe you heal 2 if you do the waterbending, or heal 1.
So the issue with healing mechanics in Magic the Gathering is that you heal at the end of your turn anyway. Maybe it gains you life, like life gain in blue,
Yeah.
which would tie very nicely in with Hope from the Final Fantasy set. Right? Because imagine if every time you waterbend, you can either gain life or do something. I would like for it to be, because that's only a small subset of waterbending. Waterbending naturally is the redirection of energy and the flow of combat. Right? And so like I feel like it would be like tapping down creatures or putting stun counters on
Stun
creatures
counters,
to
that kind of
freeze them.
stuff. Okay.
Right? But then also waterbending is the control of like water.
Right.
Now we're gonna have because if we have swamp benders in black, then hey, look, now black has access to tapping down creatures. I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Airbending. What the heck is airbending?
Gain flying for your turn.
Oh my God, that's so boring.
Sorry.
You're right.
Gee.
That feels good. That feels
Yeah.
like that's what wizards would do. But oh my God, that feels so boring.
Bounce effects in white.
Yeah.
It could flicker things, or it could just return them back
flicker
to hand.
or return to hand.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So because what I felt like airbending would be like run away together style effects, where it's like you can bounce an opponent's creature, but you have to bounce one of your creatures.
Okay.
Right? Because airbending is all about balance, and it's all about the kind of like using your opponent's momentum against them.
Right.
And so being able to bounce your opponent's creatures and bouncing your creatures, and then thinking about that and going, oh, okay, cool. If I bounce, maybe it's like a reciprocal kind of thing where if I bounce a artifact you control, I have to be able to bounce an artifact that I control, right? I can't do it if I can't bounce a thing. So maybe it would start with yours. You bounce a permanent you control, and then you bounce a permanent your opponent controls that shares a creature type or a card type, right? Or it exiles the thing and then brings it back. I can see airbending being a flicker effect.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But flying, that feels like the corporate safe choice, man.
I don't know what else I would do.
The issue that I have with it is that it feels so correct. It's like, yeah.
I'm sorry that Tate has to
Or-
be right about something.
No, you're it's not you that I'm mad at. It's the corpos.
I think it's gonna be the opposite.
Oh. Okay.
So like, cause hear me out.
Okay.
Edge of Eternities is gonna have a lot of flying vehicles. We've already had Dragonstorm, which has a lot of flyers,
Okay.
and so airbending would just say these amount of creatures don't have flying.
Loses flying.
Loses flying.
Loses flying.
That's crackpot theory. Oh, another interesting thing about the set. We're gonna probably move on from speculating on what airbending was, because we're gonna be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're-
gonna be
Unless
wrong.
we're right.
Unless we're absolutely correct in that case. We freaking called it.
Give us our money. You stole our idea.
We're going to. No, they came up with it first.
Okay.
They built this set a year ago or 2 years ago or something like that.
After we came up with it right now.
Yeah, we recorded this a year or two ago. Whatever.
Exactly.
All the metadata will say something different. Interestingly enough, Avatar: The Last Airbender is a very artifact-heavy show.
Yes. Yes.
Equipment, doodads, doohickeys. You had the whole tribe of people who took over an air temple and created flying gliders.
Sokka's boomerang.
Sokka's boomerang.
Mounts.
Mounts are pretty
Appa?
important.
Yeah.
Appa being a mount, yeah. So I actually have that written down. So I have a couple of things that I'm like, these are cards that I'm going to, I want to see. These are my bingo things. So the Swamp Benders, Appa. I want to see an outlaw themes mechanic.
Okay.
Or, well, so the other one is the artifacts. There's going to be a lot of artifacts in this set, and it's going to be an artifact. There's going to be a, like, sixth faction of, like, artificers. Outlaws are going to be a very important, like, subtype in this, because Zuko does hire a lot of outlaws to
There's
hunt.
Jet, who's an
There's
outlaw.
Jet. There's pirates. There's literal pirates in the show. You got the assassin-style character who, like, has the big anteater with the...
Oh, yeah, I forgot
Yeah,
her
with the
name.
paralyzing tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So folks who like Outlaws of Thunder Junction and want those outlaw like creature types are going to be eating good. I think committing crimes is going to be a big thing.
Oh, yeah.
In this set.
The cabbage cart, I can see as an artifact.
Oh my god. The cabbage card is definitely going to be an artifact that it's going to be the style of Mycosynth Wellspring and Mycosynth like or the Wellspring cards where when it enters and when it leaves you get an effect. So when it enters and leaves you make a food token.
Amazing.
Another one that I want to see is I want a legendary land that is just Secret Tunnel.
I have that written down.
Okay.
Access Tunnel reprint or Rogue's Passage reprint.
There
Secret
we
tunnel
go.
through the mountain. Secret tunnel. It's on my bingo card. Path to Exile reprint. Cause Zuko.
I was going to say Leave from the Vine because everyone just wants to be gone after hearing that.
Well, okay. I was gonna say a Swords to Plowshares reprint in the Spider-Man set would be hilarious. Like Swords to Plowshares in standard.
Okay.
Because it would be the art of Spider-Man leaving his stuff in the trash can.
Oh, that's sick, actually.
Right?
That's a smart idea.
That would be so sick. At the very least, it would be a Commander reprint. Path to Exile in Standard, though, I feel like Path to Exile can come back to Standard because there are so many lands in Standard right now that aren't basic lands. Like, my Standard deck is only 2 colors, but I'm only playing, like, 4 or 5 basics. It's
Right.
insane. There's so many greedy mana bases in Standard right now, and so I think Path to Exile is safe to come back, especially since it can counter the Corey Steelcutter shenanigans, right?
yeah.
A little bit, not a lot, but imagine getting rid of Eevee for 1 mana.
That would be great.
That'd be great.
That'd be great.
So, and then Path to Exile with a Zuko art on it, where he has lost the Agni Kai, and he is about to go on his journey of
Dang,
self-discovery.
Oh,
That feels like it goes so freaking hard, man. Let's see here. What else?
There might be some sagas.
I can
Sagas?
see.
Yeah. Waterbending scroll being a saga would be cool.
I think there's
Or-
got to be some type of enchantment.
Classes could come back too.
Classes could come back.
Yeah, you could play the waterbending class card or the airbending class card.
I think there are going to be enchantments that boost either firebending and waterbending. And it's like Sozin's Comet.
Sozin's Comet doubling all firebending effects and being a sorcery would be hilarious. Here's the next one that I have on my board. Imprison the Moon reprint.
Okay.
That's rough, buddy.
That's rough.
She's the moon.
She's my girlfriend turned into the moon.
That's rough, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I think also there's going to be something dealing with. There's going to be like some type of card for the actual prison from season 3.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't think it's going to be a land. I think it's going to be like a sorcery. Like I can see like a blasphemous act that's just the prison.
Bloodbending being an enchantment that takes control of target creature.
That would be sick.
Sokka. So, speaking of things that we want to see or things that we're speculating, Sokka is going to be one of our like red blue commanders that I feel.
Okay.
That's going to be an equipment sub-theme commander.
Oh yeah, and you're definitely getting his boomerang and his katana.
Oh yeah, or his sword when he enters the battlefield.
Yeah.
Or it's not a katana. It's it's a Chinese
okay.
Dao.
Okay.
It's a dual-sided longsword.
Cool.
It's definitely not a katana that he makes.
Got you.
Though the firebenders technically are like Japanese coded, so it would make sense that it would be, but like they're pulling from a lot of Asiatic references and stuff. But his machete,
The machete,
with the, like the machete club that he has, which is really nice.
I think they're going to make an artifact that's going to be like the firebending armor. I can see that because that's just such a popular design is the firebender armor.
Oh yeah.
Another one also is going to be like Aang's quarterstaff.
Like
I think there's
equipped
going to
creature
be
has
a
flying.
champion
Yeah,
belt
yeah.
for Toph from the ring.
Oh yeah, champion's helm or champion's
Yeah.
belt. Oh man. Whoa. What colors do you think everybody in the Avatar crew is going to be? Just the so what color is Appa?
Appa, mono
Green-
white.
Not green white?
No, I think he's mono white.
I feel like he's going to be green white.
I think he's going to be green
What do you
white.
think, Rico? Appa?
Green white. I think green white fits.
Because that's like the color for Mount Tribal,
Yeah.
and he's like a big creature,
Right.
so green. But then
Okay.
he flies, so white.
Okay.
Momo?
Momo, I don't know why, but Momo gives off like red white to me.
I feel like this is going to be the 8th reprint of Ragavan.
Okay.
Ragavan but flying.
Ragavan, no, but like, you know how they made in the Final Fantasy set, they reprinted Ragavan as that one guy?
Oh.
Like Momo, Ragavan reprint.
So Ragavan reprint.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But yeah, red, white, Momo makes the most sense. Partner with?
Partner, yeah, I can see that. Partner with Appa.
Partner with Appa. What about, what's his name? Ong?
Aang.
Aang.
Aang, I think they're going to do one of every color besides black. and then
because
blue
they
color.
they did the thing with the
Yeah.
thing, but like that's I have read this is not my personal idea, but someone from Reddit, right, said what if they print 5 different Aang cards?
Yeah, that's.
where it's like, or was it you who said that?
I think it was me.
I think it was you
That's
who
what I
said
think
that.
they'll do.
Where they have each color where he learns a different element, right? Because he starts off as an airbender and then he gains kind of like Omnath, right?
Aang is the old Omnath.
Yeah, and so Aang tribal could be a thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of Aang, I don't know if you guys realize this, but he has the creature type Ally.
Oh, okay.
So allies are going to be back in the set. Allies from Zendikar are eating well
Cool.
and just in time for Pride Month.
I lie.
But yeah, no. The White Lotus being the allies archetype, and then you have the outlaws being on the other side.
Yeah.
I think that's a cute way to do that because we have heroes and
Yeah, I can
villains
see
in
that.
the
Okay.
Spider-Man set, and we have allies and outlaws in the stuff. Like you have mercenaries, and
Right.
all that. Yeah. But Yeah, allies are eating well.
Okay.
And you got more cards that count as allies. New 5-color ally commander, I guess. So we did Aang.
We did Aang.
Sokka, I already said.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be red-blue.
I think so too.
Katara,
I think there's going to be 2 Kataras.
blue, mono blue and blue-white?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. Toph.
Toph, I can see being Gruul.
Gruul?
Yeah.
I
Gruul
was
fits.
going to say green-black.
But black in this is going to tie to the spirit realm a lot. And
Have you not seen her in Legend of Korra where she's in tune with the whole planet
But we're not
through the
doing
spirit
Korra
tree?
here.
Right, but like
Yeah.
that could be a reference to
that is true. I think it's just because she's first one into a fight. Like it fits. I feel like it fits what her character.
she
would do.
definitely feels very green red coded, but
She could just jun them out.
Junned him out, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jund, like she feels very Jund coded to me because she's the first one to be like, we need money. I know how to make money. We're gonna lie, cheat, and steal our way into money.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. She is very much the type of character to be very, very self-serving.
I think there's going to be like 2 to 3 Tophs though, in this set.
I mean, there's going to be 2 to 3. There's going to be a lot of legendary creatures in this set, just like in the Final Fantasy set. They're going to print like
Right.
Cloud. There's going to be like 8 different Aangs.
Okay,
They're going to
fair
be
enough.
like 2 different Sokkas. They're going to be 2 different Kataras. They're going to be 2 different Tophs.
No.
Right? Because you got Toph the Blind Bandit, and you got Toph the princess. Right?
Yeah. So next is Zuko.
Zuko. Obviously, he's going to be red.
Yeah. I think there will be a red Zuko, and I think there's going to be like a multicolor Zuko.
There's gonna be a
some sort.
Rakdos Zuko.
A Rakdos
of
Zuko?
him in his early stage,
Okay.
and then late he's gonna be red or red white at the end.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be 3 different Zukos
Uh huh.
for the 3 different possible color combinations.
Do you count Suki as part of the party?
We could talk about Suki.
Okay. I think Suki is going to be like green and green white. Because also to her connection to
The Kyoshi Warriors,
Kyoshi Warriors
and Avatar
Avatar
Kyoshi. That makes sense. I felt like she was going to be just mono white because equipment and stuff. Oh, man. If we want to extend it a little bit, Azula, obviously black red.
Oh yeah, black red all the way.
All the way. My
Ooh.
red equipment based fling commander, mono red,
Mono red.
Ty Lee.
Ty Lee chi blocking, she can stop bending.
I feel like Ty Lee is going to break the trio, and she's going to be like blue white.
Okay.
That's funny.
Yeah.
What about
Speaking of chi blocking and stun counters, Ty Lee being able to be played in the Spider-Man deck because Spider-Man is blue white with
that would be
stun
hilarious.
counters. And so we can have the trio of Spider-Man, Ty Lee, and then Elsa from Wilds of Eldraine.
Stop.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, free unsolicited advice. When the Spider-Man set comes out, that Elsa card from Wilds of Eldraine, it's a reference to Elsa. It's not actually Elsa. Gonna go up in price. Pick them up now. What's her name? Like Brunhilde or something?
I think it's Cornelda, yeah.
Yeah.
Also Uncle Iroh.
Oh, Uncle Iroh. Well, he's Fire Nation. Mm-hmm. Mono red.
But he's very much a airbender in his values to a degree.
Yeah, I feel like he would be red white as well.
I think there's going to be a mono white Uncle Iroh that's White Lotus. And it's going to be the super beefy version of him, you know? When he's like ripped.
God, this set and Spider-Man are gonna have a lot of legendary creatures.
Oh, yeah.
Commander players are eating well.
Okay. I think we have time for 2 more.
What's another fun character? King Boomy. He's just gonna be mono green.
Mono green. The Cabbage Man.
The Cabbage Man. Do you think he's gonna even get a card?
I think he'll get a card. I don't think he'll be
I
legendary.
don't think he's gonna get a card.
I think he's going to get a card. I don't see how he can't.
He's going to cameo in a lot of cards.
And
He's
it's
gonna
just
be
his card being
like
destroyed.
Fibblethip.
Yeah,
it's
Okay.
he's gonna be on a lot of instants and sorceries.
Okay.
And he's gonna be in the corner freaking out because the instant sorcery will be like ram through, and his card will be because ram through is an actual magic card. Reprint of ram
amazing.
through where the cabbage, my cabbages.
Okay. Judy.
Which one is that one?
It's all the brainwashed women in Bossing Say. Hi, I'm Judy. There's no war in Bossing Say.
I don't think she's gonna get
You don't
a card.
think she's gonna get a card?
If she does, then maybe it's a card that says like the legend rule doesn't matter for Judy, and you can have as many copies of Judy in your deck.
Copies of Judy. That's funny.
Yeah. Jet feels very red black or red white. Mardu.
I think he'll just be mono red.
No, there's too much community and stuff with him and all his other orphan buddies.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I feel like you guys don't play Yu-Gi-Oh, but there's this like group called the like I forget their name. Oh my gosh, it's like the Black Scorpion Gang or something like that.
Okay.
If Jet feels very inspired by that like kind of like group, and they all play around like getting other copies of the other cards in their gang. I feel like Jet would be like all the cards would be like Jet, comma, part of his gang, whatever his gang name was. And then all his other friends will be like, this guy, part of that gang.
Got you.
Like, comma, this gang.
Okay.
Right? And so Jet would probably fetch all of those guys. He'd probably have double strike. But he is very Mardu coded because he thinks with his head, or he thinks with his heart more than he thinks with his head, right? He is very for his little community of orphans and stuff, which is the red, the white, and then the black is he does not care who he hurts to achieve his goals. Just like in the one episode where Jet shows up.
I think there's going to be one vehicle card. I think it's going to be the submarine.
I think there's going to be more than one vehicle card.
You think there's going to be one vehicle?
They're going to make the hang gliders.
Well, hang gliders.
Oh no, that's not a vehicle. The tanks, the boats.
Okay, the tanks and the boats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? Because like that's one of the things that like blew my mind a lot as I would like, because I'm a giant dweeb. Is that the nation that kickstarted the Industrial Revolution is the Fire Nation.
Right.
And so there's going to be a lot of vehicles. The big ass drill.
Oh, I
is going to be a vehicle card. Yeah. But also, like, it just makes the most sense that they are the guys who are the best metallurgers and the best like designers for weapons of war and just in general, because they have the means to produce infinite energy essentially. So they probably discovered steam power the first. They probably discovered combustion the first, because literally firebending is combustion. And then since they have access to heat, they're probably the first like tribe to discover metallurgy and create like pure metals and stuff. So it just makes sense that they're. Oh my god, I love Avatar.
Avatar's great.
Avatar's so great.
I'm gonna go home after this and start watching some more.
You wrote something down.
Yeah, I wrote down that Jet is gonna be the new Rebels.
Rebels.
Yeah.
Ooh, Rico, you liking Rebels because
Rebel
Rico
comeback.
used to have an A3O stack that was Rebel tribal. So more Rebels would be really nice. Mardu Rebels?
Yeah, because you said search your library for all your other.
That's a Rebel mechanic.
It's a Rebel mechanic.
Okay.
Oh my god, you're right.
Yeah.
Maybe we're gonna bring back Rebels because we're bringing back allies. We're bringing back Rebels. Oh my god.
Okay. Well, guys,
That's on the bingo card now.
I think this is where we call it. Thank you so much, Rico, for coming.
We could be here for another freaking hour.
No, we cannot.
Talking about this. Oh, I mean, like, we can't
Yeah.
because we're not allowed to, but we could be here for another hour, being like,
see it.
"Oh,
There's so much
this
stuff
thing,
with this,
that thing."
and I didn't even get to scratch the surface about all my thoughts for Spider-Man. So don't get me started.
what?
Oh, I have so many ideas just because I've read so many comics. Red Goblin is a possibility. So, but with that,
Red goblins exist in Magic already.
well, because also there's symbiotes. I'm gonna just say real quick. So Venom in his card, he has a thing that says other symbiotes. So that means there's going to be more than one symbiote in the Spider-Man set. Very excited about that. But yeah.
Is symbiote a creature type now?
Yes, Venom is a symbiote.
So changelings are symbiotes.
Thank you all for watching. Keep in mind, we are now officially doing every other Thursday for our releases of the episode. So we won't see you next week, but we will see you the week after that. So we'll see y'all then. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining us.